little scalable, just a little bit. They may be highly latent, but they're very scalable. How many of you need to run your system on 50,000 servers? Okay, HBase will run on 50,000 servers. It's what Google uses. So if you guys plan on getting bigger than Google, then this might not work for you. But if you're at that point, you can feel free to talk with me. I work as a consultant. The main idea here, though, is we can scale this very, very far. But we've got that same issue that we were talking about. The issue that I cannot query across this data. The only query I can issue is get an aggregate by an ID. I can't issue any other query against my event storage. And in order to support that, we have to bring in another pattern. And this other pattern you may or may not use with event sourcing. They're not, it's not if you use CQRS you need to use event sourcing, but the inverse is true. They are a symbiotic pattern. If you use event sourcing, you probably need to use CQRS if you want to query. Now there are some systems that don't actually do any querying. That sounds really bizarre. Consider, for instance, if I were going to be listening to all the events that happen inside of the railroads. So like every time a train crosses one of those sensors, I may not actually be querying against that information in any way. I may just be raising my own events as to whether or not the train I expected to be there is on schedule. Now, command and query responsibility segregation. I know, it just slips right off the tongue. It is not nearly as complex of a pattern as people think it is. Has anybody seen like an article that says like